Broncos because of Brian Griese. He's the #1 rated quarterback, and there's a good reason why.
I talked to my man Terrell Buckley last week in Miami. He was on a bye week, by the way, playing golf. He told me that defense is told me that defense is
Broncos because of Brian Griese.
Mike, there's a whole lot of people that want to draw the comparison between time great Jet quarterbacks Joe Namath and Chad Pennington. What impresses you about Chad?
I believe everything that anyone else has watched Chad play impresses me. The same thing impresses them. He's a quality, classy quarterback that has a touch on the football. He's not a thrower, he's a passer. His mind is ahead of what the defense is, and if the Jets can support him, they will win the championship.
Hold here 1 second, please, Joe.
Pennington draw play to Curtis Smart. He'll get 6.
Joe, it's been a tough season for Jet fans. What does it mean to you now when the team is struggling?
How will they kiss you? I couldn't care less about the team struggling.
Care less about the team struggling. Couldn't care less about the team struggling.
Couldn't care less about the team struggling. What we know is we can improve. Pennington, our quarterback, missed the first part of the season. We're looking to next season. We're looking to make a noise now, and I want to kiss you.
Thanks, Joe. Huge Joe Namath, part of the four-decade team.
I want to kiss you.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah.
Huge
It's time for the big game, everybody. It's time for the big game. Get your nachos out. Get your damn nachos out. And your Bud Light. What else is on here? Wow! Cool from Space subscribing at Tier 1, and they've subscribed for 5 months. Cool Bowl. Whoa. I got an emote. Thanks for the emote. Not sure what that means. Everybody's getting jazzed up and juiced up because it's the big game. We're going to take a little extra moment here to think of all the footballers who have come and gone. That's not really where I was trying to go with that one. Superb owl. Anyway, let's going to be a lot of fun. We're talking about the big game. We're talking about football is what we're talking about. And it just so happens to be the big game today. So we're pretty excited about that. I haven't watched a single second of any NFL football this year, so it's came as a surprise to me to find out which teams were going to be playing in the big game today. You know, we've covered sports before on the show, and at some point I said we're going to talk about the big game, and probably on that episode. So now we've got to come through on a promise here. It's going to be a lot of fun today. This is the chill intro. It's Sunday, your favorite day to sit back and watch a stream. Your favorite day to watch streams and stuff. Everybody loves it. We're gonna get it rolling because it's a big game. We kind of have a hard out today because the big game is starting soon. It's starting soon. But the cool stream is starting now. That's right. Whoa! And it's gonna get crazy. We're gonna get into some of the crazy stuff about football. It's gonna be a lot of fun as usual. Watching the cool stream. Hope everybody's ready. Got your nachos. Because it's the cool stream. We're back again on a Sunday afternoon. My favorite time to do the show. Doing another cool stream. That's right. We're doing the show today. It's all about the big game. And we're not allowed to say the name of the big game. It's the big football game. We love all kinds of sports on the show. We even did a sports episode. So today we're doing one specifically about football. American football. Football. It's going to be pretty cool. We're going to go back to the beginning of time, to the caveman days, talk about some of the best moments in football history from back in the days. It's going to be crazy. That's right, it's the cool stream, everybody. You can tell I'm juiced and jazzed and ready to go. Doing an intro. I'm going to drink some more of this iced coffee here. Oh, yeah. It's time to do it. It's time to do an episode.
Oh, yeah!
We have to do it. There's no backing out now. There's no turning back. Because once you start the stream, you send out the thing, it's time to do it. Because it's what the people want.
Oh, yeah!
Whoa! So we're doing an episode on the big game. And you can watch the big game here in a couple hours. It kicks off. And they have the big kickoff, and you get to see all the funny commercials. Sit around the TV, eating your nachos, drinking your Bud Light. And then you'll turn and look at the TV and go, what's going on now? What happened? Is anybody paying attention to what's going on TV? No, we're not doing that because we're just eating snacks and drinking our beers and stuff. That's cool. I'm pretty excited. It'll be the one NFL game I've watched all year. The big game. Yeah, we're doing it again. I'm trying to get juiced. Damn it. I need some more juice. I don't have enough juice to get juiced. Wow. It's time to do a special episode about the big game, everybody. You're out on the gridiron. All the guys smashing and crashing into each other. Wow. It gets crazy out there on the field, on the gridiron. It's a big, giant field, and balls flying everywhere. Everybody's smashing into each other. It's kind of violent, and it's kind of a complicated thing to watch, to be honest. When you're watching that thing, you're like, what's going on? Why did they stop playing? Why are they just standing around again? I don't know. The average football game lasts about 3 or 4 or 5 hours these days. It's crazy between commercials and between stopping the play because of the penalties and stuff. I mean, I'm just going to get on my soapbox here and So, man, these games last a long time, and you'll be up late tonight watching the big game. There it is, the big game. Let's see, we got any housekeeping to take care of? I know everyone out there has done their chores today, so that's good. You need to do that. You can't watch the show unless you've done your chores. And I know that I did mine, damn it. So, we got some housekeeping today. I think because of some issues we had with Twitch, and you might remember some of the stuff that happened a couple episodes back. They haven't been keeping our VODs up for very long, which just kind of stinks. So, I took it upon myself to upload all of the past Cool Stream episodes on the Cool Stream YouTube. So that's kind of cool. So you can go over there, check out the YouTube. You can like and subscribe. Don't forget to tap that freaking bell icon, damn it. So you can get notified every time there's a new episode. And you also could just look at your calendar and say, has it been Sunday? Is it the Lord's Day? Well, that's now the Cool Stream day. For whatever reason, smashing the bell icon. For God knows why, we're doing the Cool Stream on Sundays now. So anyway, the plan is I'll just be uploading them straight to YouTube, our favorite video viewing platform. You can go check out the latest episodes up there. It's all up to date, so I'll be updating that as soon as the episode's over. Jump over there, give it a smash, and snap the bell icon. Ah! That's the wrong one. Tap that bell icon. Tap it. All right, it's time for the big game. I need to get a little more juiced. I'm feeling kind of lethargic. I got my iced coffee. All right, this is a good song. This is getting me pumped up. So it's the big game. You're gathered around the TV. You're watching on TV, watching all the commercials. And you're probably wondering, what the heck is this damn sport all about? What is this stuff? What does this mean? Well, we're about to get into it. We're going to get into all manner of things about football, going back to the very beginning. So let's start at the very beginning. A popular sport. Oh yeah. Oh baby. Oh. We're going back to the very beginning of football, back to the earliest days, and this is a game that comes up when you look that up. Just what I've done. I've Googled all the Googling you can do to learn about the history of football. It started with a little sport back in the Roman Empire. I was looking at the TV going, what the hell is this? Well, apparently, I'm like that kid that said that on the news that one time. Apparently, football and the big game started in the Roman Empire with a game called harpastum. Harpastum. It's also referred as the small ball game. While historians are unsure about the etymology, it is said to possibly derive from the word harpago, which means an iron-grabbing tool with fingers. Other possible origins from the Greek word harpazine. Harpazine sounds like a medicine or something, which means to grab. Grab the ball and run to the end zone and score a big touchdown. Why don't you? This is the big game. The ball the Romans used was hard and small balls, smaller soccer-sized balls. It was quite similar to the size and rigidity of a regular softball. Ouch. That thing is bouncing all over the place. The game was said to be a Roman version of the Greek game called Fininda, or the other Greek game called Episkairos. The sport involved physical exertion, speed, and agility. That sounds like the football that we know and love. Historians don't have much knowledge on what exactly those rules were, but there are many sources indicating at some point the game became violent and that some players fall down on the ground often. Oh no! While in Greece, a spectator had his leg broken while he was caught in the middle of a game. Oh crap, and there's a stone carving of Harpastum. From the writings obtained about Harpastum by ancient writers, the general idea of how they describe the game is similar to rugby. So that's another game that we'll get to. That's kind of how things evolved into rugby and into soccer. And then American football kind of came after that. Another descriptions included a line in the dirt, and teams would make an effort to keep the ball behind their side. They would try to keep the ball behind their side of the line and stop the opposing team from snatching it. It was said to be an inverted form of football. So instead of going across the line and you want to get your ball over there, they wanted to keep the ball on their side. That's kind of interesting. The teams consisted of not more than 12 players. Boundaries and fielders, all about tackling and beating each other up. Someone had the ball and they ran around with it, and they would smash into each other. Then they would steal the ball away, bringing it to their own side to obtain a score. There's no surviving evidence of how the game works. No one is sure how the game starts. Some say it started with a coin toss. All right, that's harpastum. If it was in ancient Rome, the coin would have a picture of the head of Julius Caesar on it. That'd be kind of cool. I found a video of harpastum, and it's played in Italy. It has a different name, and it's kind of just an excuse for guys to do some bare-knuckle brawling in the streets. And there's a ball, but a lot of the videos I've seen of this is they're just on the ground punching each other. It's kind of weird. So we're going to watch some harpastum. There's a ball. It's like a softball. Wow. Wow. There's harpastum. Or maybe there's a different version where the guys are just beating the crap out of each other. This is more the harpastum that we all know and love. Whoa. Throw that ball. Throw the harpastum ball. So this is kind of what they would get into. They'd be out in the streets on the piazza. I guess they scored a point. That's pretty good. So this is where it all began. This is where, when you watch the big game today, just think of the Romans and the Greeks out there. I don't know if they were out in the middle of the street like this, playing harpastum. There we go. Oh, get him. Get his ass. That's a little bit about harpastum. Look at they're dressed even in some of these different clothes and stuff. I guess the other thing I was looking at was a different game. An Italian game. Just beat the living hell out of each other. They're just kind of running around, throwing the ball. This is like something you could do out in the backyard. Yay! And they said that they would use it to train soldiers. Roman soldiers would be training by playing harpastum. But we're not entirely sure if that's exactly where football came from. Because then you get into some stuff. Because then you get into some shit. Alright, you start getting into some... Oh, excuse my language over there. Start getting into some stuff. Some other stuff. Alright, we're going through the history of football because it's the big game. That's today's topic. So then it started to evolve into rugby. Many believe rugby was born in 1823. With fine disregard for the rules of football. Note that football was yet to split into various codes, as played in his time at rugby school. First took the ball in his arms and ran with it, originating the distinctive feature of the rugby game. So that's the part where I couldn't quite understand is what the hell did they do back in the day? Were they just playing soccer? Were they just kicking the ball and then somebody was like, I'm going to pick this damn thing up? Or was it all just harpastum? It's all harpastum to me. Harpastum. The fact, though, is apocryphal, so we'll never know the true history of rugby. But it does relate to football, so that's why we're talking about it, in case anyone's curious. And I think I have these kind of flip-flopped, but that's okay. So anyway, rugby was unveiled in 1997. Whoa. Local boy who's inspired the game of rugby football on the clothes at rugby school in 1823. This guy's picking up the ball, he's running with it. What the hell is he doing? Get this guy, get him out of here. They were enthralled with the game. They loved it, and they say, we need more of this game. It's a cool game. Various early ball games were played through the Middle Ages and are sometimes referred to as folk football, mob football, or Shrovetide football. Such games would usually be played between neighboring towns and villages, involved an unlimited number of players on opposing teams who would fight and struggle to move an inflated pig's bladder by any means possible to markers at the end of a town. Authorities would later attempt to outlaw such dangerous and unproductive pastimes. or pasta. Here we go. The Atherstone football game. So they would do this around Shrove Tuesday, Shrove time. And we might do an episode about Shrove time, the Dragoons. It's coming up here in February around Carnival. So they would do this Shrovetide football back in the medieval days. Kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Here's a little tiny video. British in England. And all the town would come out with their pig's bladder. Let's check it out. It's a tiny video.
They thrive not only because they're worth keeping, but because they're fun.
It's
Tradition,
fun.
after all, can be fun.
Tradition can be fun.
What could be greater fun than turning the
What could
streets
be
of your
greater
town into
fun
one seething public football
Then
pitch?
beating the crap out of each
Citizens
other.
of
Oh my
Atherstone near
god.
Birmingham do every year at Shrovetide.
Shrove.
There's no book of rules to bother
Holy
these footballers.
moly. Have you seen
The
this?
scrimmage dates from the 13th century when King John threw down a bag of gold. Nowadays, a football takes the
Whoa.
place of King John's bag
Is
of
that
gold,
true?
and whoever holds it at 5 o'clock in the evening is entitled to collect with it at all the local inns.
Whoa.
The winner is somewhere under this lot.
Get the freaking ball out of there. Mob football. A bunch of mobsters. I think I had my own video too. It all started out back in the whenever it said that it started is when it started. Shrovetide football. This might even be the same damn video. Who knows? Who the hell knows? Here it is, Shrovetide football.
Ashbourne Shrovetide football game.
Shrovetide
What a
football.
game it is.
What a
The
game
course
it
is all
is.
through Ashbourne and the surrounding country, and the teams, anyone who cares to take part. If you live
Wow.
north of the centre of the town, you play for the upwards, and if you live south of the centre, for the
The whole
downwards.
damn town would come out and
Goals are
play
2 mills
football and
about 4 miles
smash into
apart.
each other.
And to get there,
Look
you
at
can
that.
use any means you like,
Wow.
including all-in wrestling and other gentlemanly behaviour. And there are no referees,
Wrestling?
linesmen, or managers looking for big transfer fees. That's a
Wow.
goal. This is
Going
the game
there.
for the football pool promoters. At least they do know who's playing who more than a day beforehand.
This was in
At
1936.
Alnwick, the
This
ball is
video.
thrown down from the battlements of Alnwick Castle,
Wow.
and then it's carried in procession to the field, where the goals are 3/4 of a mile apart.
Wow. This is a huge.
In this game, attacking the goal mouth takes on a new meaning. In one respect, Alnwick goes one better than Ashbourne. Here, they take the play across the wide river, and they don't even call it water polo.
Oh no.
Notice how few are ready to follow.
Just go out in the water. Get in your canoe with your football.
To the best swimmers, the ball.
The bull. And then you win the big Shrovetide game, I guess. I don't really know how that works. You win a bunch of money or something? Is that what it said? I don't want to get too much in the weeds with Shrovetide football. We've only got so much time to cover the entire history of football. People are thrilled and chilled right now. Something about the Welsh. Of course, the Celtic played a different game. Scrotum of the bull. This is what they played. The ball was made out of animal skins. The Vikings played a game too that I can't pronounce. So there's of course they tried to ban the game as well. 1175, a London-born monk called William Fitzstephen. After lunch, all the youth of the city go out into the fields to take part in a ball game. The students of each school have their own ball. The workers from each city craft are also carrying their balls. Older citizens, fathers, and wealthy citizens come on horseback to watch the juniors competing. To relive their own youth vicariously, you can see their inner passions aroused as they watch the action and get caught up in the fun being had by the carefree adolescents. That sounds very nice. We're ready for some football, baby. But first, we have to get through the entire history of football. So here we go. Now, let's see. We're about 1200 AD. Somebody was killed with a dagger, so that's no good. There was a lot of violence and stuff in football. All right, here we are at 1300. What happened there? Football was officially banned. Okay, are we almost there yet? All right, let's jump ahead into the history of football. So we got medieval football. I think we just talked about that. Bleacher Report. 12th century football. After dinner, all the youths would go out into the field. So they did some crazy mob football. Here's another one. During the game, at ball, as he kicked the ball, a lay friend of his, also called William, ran against him and wounded himself on a sheath knife. And he died. Oh, crap. It was very popular. So anyway, let's jump ahead. This is a little bit more interesting. This is kind of an older article, though. Here it says Super Bowl 53. And so I guess that was last year. And the Patriots. And those guys aren't in the big game, so that's good. So we hate them. Do we know about the history of American football? King Arthur was a great running back. American football, also known as gridiron football, for the vertical painted yard lines that run across the rectangular pitch, originated in North American colleges in the late 19th century. Evolved from the British sports of rugby and association football. Mostly from rugby, I think. So the colleges up there, and Yale and Harvard and all the grand old institutions up there in the 1800s. This is kind of off the dome here. The superb owl. Kind of going off the dome here, the colleges would play the football game, and they would scrum and scratch and scrap all night long. The game was brutal and chaotic, often called mob football. So we already talked about that. The match, generally accepted as the first American football game, took place 1869. Nice. A bunch of guys in top hats. Princeton and Rutgers. Rutgers took the victory. The game would have been unrecognizable to today's spectators, as the players weren't allowed to pick up the ball. Instead, they advanced toward the scoring zone by kicking or swiping at it with their hands. Wow. They're all wearing top hats. There they are, scrapping away. So there's a lot of people they don't like college football. I'm a bit of a college football head. So I think that's kind of cool, but we can all agree that it all started with these teens back in the 1860s. I guess they kicked the ball. That's interesting. So they'd be in the middle of the field in this big scrum, smashing and gnashing against each other. Variations of the game were all different across all the different colleges, but they had to establish some rules in 1873. A number of colleges retained their own rules, including Harvard College, which preferred its Boston game. It's a rugby-style mix, carrying and kicking the ball. So once these freaking guys started playing against each other, they had to start making some rules. So we'll get to this guy later.
What is that letter there? What is that letter there? What is that?
All right, thanks Sean1189 for following. Thanks for following the cool stream. Stopped liking college football when it became older than the players. Yeah, it's a little weird. It's a little weird to watch it now and see all these kids. You know, they're all like in their 20s. And they're getting their heads bashed in. They're not even getting paid for it. What the hell? So we got this here. Check this out. This is the American football timeline. Let's see some other stuff here. We had the rules that came in 1873. The first game, 1869. We just talked about that. Rutgers and Princeton. The father of American football, Walter Camp. So he changed a bunch of rules. He invented the snap. He invented all these different rules to make it a little bit easier. And here they changed the rules to get rid of the dirty plays. And they introduced all these different kinds of rules. Walter Camp, he was a famous footballer. And then Teddy Roosevelt came in. They changed all the rules, and then Teddy Roosevelt came in and said it was a very violent game. They almost had to stop the game from being played because of too many deaths. All these people were dying. In response, 62 colleges and universities got together to discuss the rule changes. And that's when it led to form the Intercollegiate Athletic, blah, blah, blah. So Teddy Roosevelt stepped in and he saved football. Thanks, Teddy. If it wasn't for Teddy, we wouldn't have the big game. We wouldn't be sitting here today watching the big game. We pay the college players. It's not fair. Forward pass is dirty. It's nasty. And apparently, here I am back doing the apparently. What am I, the apparently kid? In the early days, when they would throw the football, this is an interesting fact. If they didn't make the pass, you'd get a 15-yard penalty. Isn't that crazy? So they didn't like throwing the ball because if you couldn't catch it, you get a huge penalty, which is crazy. Now they're just throwing it all which ways down the field. It's insane.
American football has become one of the most popular sports in the world. However, it wasn't always the same sport that it is today. Over time, there have been many changes that have improved the sport. From the first paid players in small American clubs to leagues around the world. The evolution of the sport has been a fascinating and amazing journey.
It's fascinating stuff. That's why we're talking about it today.
6th,
Here we go.
1869, the first intercollegiate game was played between Rutgers and Princeton. It was the first game that was played with the basic rules for football.
Rutgers beat Princeton in this game 6 goals to 4. Walter Camp was one of the most instrumental figures in the history of football.
Here he is, Walter Camp.
He was part of the original American
We got
Football Rules Committee.
the audio coming in only in the right channel, so.
Football. In 1880, Walter Camp
Need to
established
move the
line
damn
of
ball.
scrimmage, which is
What's
an
the point?
imaginary line between the two teams separating an offense and a defense. It also marked the place of the ball before and after a play. In 1882, he established a rule that gave a team 3 plays to move the ball 5 yards for a first down. To many people, Walter
guy's
Camp
recording on a
was the
damn
father of
cassette player.
football because of the rules he developed and the effort he put into American
And now you get a 15-yard penalty for
First
supporting the
professional football
troops.
player
That's
was
what's wrong with the
William
game.
Heffelfinger, also known as Pudge.
Saboteur.
He became
Pudge.
classified as a professional, and he was paid $500 to play in the games for the Pittsburgh Athletic Club on November 12, 1892.
This guy,
Soon after
Pudge.
the first professional player was paid, the first professional game was played. It was on September 3rd, 1895.
Professional game of
Two
football.
teams-
This guy Pudge was the first professional football player. That's kind of cool. Pudge. Birth of pro football. And here he is. William Pudge Heffelfinger. So they had his 80 years till Pro Football Hall of Fame, an expense sheet, the Allegheny Athletic Association that clearly shows a game performance bonus to William Heffelfinger. $500. Wow. Pudge Rodriguez. Someone's high school project. This is from the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Jeez, the dude got paid $500 freaking back in 1892. Pudge? That's probably like $1,000, $3,000. More than that. That's a crap load of money for Pudge. He probably went and bought himself a Model T after that. It was relatively new in 1892. $1 billion. They played the first game in 1869. This guy, Walter Camp, came along. He changed the game. The rule changes transformed rugby into the new game of football. So people were getting punched and kicked and breaking their legs. The game was probably really boring to watch because they would only have to move the ball like 3 feet or something every down. So they could just smash in the scrum all up and down the field. It's probably no fun to watch. And these guys died in their 30s. It was rough out there. Some of them did. A lot of people died playing football back then. Pretty crazy. But Walter Camp came along and said, you know, we're going to get this thing into shape. We're going to put some rules in. Many of the rules that you know and love today. And many of the rules that you'll see today, this afternoon, when you watch the big game. Like the line of scrimmage. That's kind of interesting. It all came from one guy. Now he changed the rules forever. Walter Camp, the invention of football. He was the father, and he was a Yale guy. Became a key member of the American Intercollegiate Football Association. System of downs, the need for the ball to be moved downfield a certain distance with an allotted number of attempts. and the number of players. That's it? They did more stuff than that. Hello? What's going on here? The Daily Dozen. Okay. Here he is. Is this him?
Rightly in the morning and do your daily dozen. Yes, it
Daily
does sound
Dozen.
rather like
Made
work,
System
doesn't it?
of a Down.
Still, if ever you should feel that way inclined, try this series of a dozen, devised by Mr. Herbert Naylor, Physical Training
Daily
Director
Dozen.
of the YMCA. We're on the second exercise now, which strengthens and develops the waist.
All right, this is some exercises you can do before you play football. Or you get your head bashed in. Oh, this is Walter Camp's Daily Dozen. A set of 12 exercises became an international phenomenon. Whoa. He was a famous football guy, Walter Camp. And here we go, William Pudge Heffelfinger. Daily Dozen sound like my McDonald's order. Yep, he created all the lines, and it's all thanks to him that we've got the big game coming up today. It's all thanks to Pudge, too. He got paid. He made some dough on that day. Paid a crap load of money. Of course, they never used to throw the ball. But then one day they decided, we're going to throw the ball. And it's all thanks to Pudge. And we also got to thank a historical team here, Pop Warner, and his Native American team from the Carlisle Indian Industrial School. Showcase the potential of the past. And these guys got out there. And of course, it's sort of a sad history of the Carlisle Indian School and all that. So you can look into that, about some of that stuff. But it did give us the birth of some crazy football innovations from these guys. Thanks to Pop Warner. He said, we need to figure out how to win this game. So he figured out how to do the first forward pass. And it began the transformation of football into a modern game. Didn't seem radical. Other schools didn't want to do it. But this guy, Pop Warner, famous football coach, he went out there, he invented the football game. The first legal pass was in 1906 through 20 yards. I think we got a video of that. Let's get back to some videos. Because that's the real meat and potatoes here on the Cool Stream. All the stuff that we all love. Let's see. We got the oldest football footage ever. Let's watch that one first. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. It's football, baby. The big game. Wow. South Bend. Here we go. Princeton and Yale, 1903. The oldest football footage ever. There they go. These guys don't know. Doesn't look like they know what the hell they're doing. There they are, smash into each other. Smash and crash. And then they just run after. Whoa. There we go. That was the first ever game of football. It's pretty short, too. About a minute and a half. Latrobe, home of Rolling Rock. There you go. President Roosevelt attends a game. He helped save football. Thanks to old Teddy. Here's the University of Chicago. And there they are, smashing and crashing. A bunch of little scrawny guys, too. Latrobe, the home of football. Rolling Rock. You gotta carry the rock, is what they say. Good Lord. It's just complete chaos in there. First game of football was played 1869. All right, so these are some facts you can throw out. You can throw out while you're watching the big game is big butts. You can throw out some of these facts here. You're watching the big game. Tell them it started in 1869. Oh, that'd be kind of cool. Let's see. A tribute to the forward pass. This is what we're trying to get to. The football newsreel.
December 8th, 1906. Football leaders gathered in New York and voted to legalize the forward pass.
Legalize it.
The decision was in response to an uprising led by none other than President Roosevelt himself, who believed that the brutally violent game needed to change or be abolished altogether. Bet your bottom dollar that pioneers in manufacturing like the big game will respond with a revolutionary football of the future, engineered with the forward pass in mind. Yes, sirree, tomorrow's footballs will be made consistently at the smallest size allowed by official football specifications. Innovations in manufacturing will mean even the
Some
laces will
advanced
be made from
metrics. All right, let's
groundbreaking
get back into
compounds
that.
that are easier to hold. They'll be made with true grit. More
Okay.
than 20,000 micro pebbles that
What the
create
hell is
friction
this
and
game?
make footballs
There we go.
easier to pitch and catch.
I think this is an ad for
And to you
this.
kickers out there, footballs of tomorrow will have tiny targets that help guide
Tiny
your foot
targets.
to the sweet spot of the ball, making your kicks travel farther with greater accuracy. Yes, from this day forward,
Wow.
the game of football will be forever changed.
Wow.
It's good old-fashioned American know-how
good
that will
old-fashioned.
carry the American football into the next century.
The
and
big game,
beyond.
USA.com. All right. I think that was an ad for footballs. It was a little ad for footballs. It's a chipmunk. Okay, let's get back to some advanced metrics here. I'm not really sure. Let's see. St. Louis. 62 schools, and they did some stuff. They banned the flying wedge. That was good. What were we looking for? The history of the forward pass, and there's a famous footballer, Jim Thorpe. He went to the Carlisle Indian School. He was sort of like the Bo Jackson of 1900s. He created the Carlisle formation, early evolution of the single wing. A player could run, pass, or kick without the defense divining intent from the formation. The forward pass was just the kind of trick the old stalwarts avoided, but Warner loved it. Watch the Super Bowl on YouTube. Wow. He went to the Olympics. There's a whole slew of stuff about this guy. No one could stop them. Once they started practicing it, Warner pretty much couldn't stop them. They were throwing the ball left and right. They were light on their feet, everyone amazingly skilled, and the players, we're not going to say that word, they pirouetted in and out. The receiver was well down the field. They triumphed 40-0 and then ran off more victories by a total score of 148-11. They met the undefeated Pennsylvania team. They met to meet. I don't know how to read anymore. To meet undefeated and unscored upon Pennsylvania. Throwing the ball is what's good. That's what's up. They launched a long pass to William Gardner, caught on the dead-end run, and carried short of the goal, setting up the game's first touchdown. Yeah. The Indians completed 8 of 16 passes, including one thrown by a player relatively new to the squad, Jim Thorpe. Forward pass, perfectly employed, used for ground gaining more than any other style of play. The story reported that forward passes in runs behind compact interference from direct passes, delayed passes, and punting the Indians' principal offensive tactics. Whoa. This guy said the forward pass was child's play. They tried it on first down, second down, third down, any which way. They have interceptions. I don't know. I guess so. I don't really know much about the topic of football history. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm looking through all these damn websites, all the tabs. I got a million tabs open. Ahead, Notre Dame, they created the modern passing game. But that's a myth, because it was actually the Carlisle passing game. Even Newt Rockne himself attempted to correct the record later in life. Carlisle wasn't just throwing 1 or 2 passes a game, they were throwing at half their offense. Notre Dame gets credit for popularizing the forward pass, but Pop Warner is the man who really created the passing game as we know it. And Jim Thorpe went on to become an Olympic hero. Went on to play to Carlisle through 1912. And Army cadet Dwight Eisenhower was injured trying to tackle him. That'll show him. And Jim Thorpe did a stiff arm to Dwight Eisenhower and left him in the dust. Old Notre Dame, you love them. Love those guys. Of course, Teddy Roosevelt helped save football. There he is, Jim Thorpe. He's a famous footballer. Got any other videos to watch? I'm a little bit scatterbrained today. Here we go. Here's Notre Dame versus Army. 1913, using the forward pass. 1913, Notre Dame, taken from a century of greatness.
There's no doubt that the combination of quarterback Gus DeRay and Newt Rockne did more to popularize the pass than any other duo in college football history. Until the first day of November 1913, DeRay and Rockne had worked as lifeguards on the beach at Cedar Point, Ohio. In their spare time, they worked on perfecting the pass patterns the pair had developed. There is no doubt that
there's
the
the
use
first
of the
forward
pass in the
pass
first
right there.
half of the 1913 game at West Point shocked the Army cadets.
Shocked the
including
hell out of
Major
them.
N named Dwight Eisenhower, who watched the game on the sidelines. After two quarters, Notre Dame was ahead 14-13. Army would not score another point, as DeRay picked apart the Army defense with an aerial barrage. Rockne caught a pass for 40 yards, almost unheard of at that time.
It's insane.
The final was 35-13.
Now they're just
as DeRay
throwing the ball
completed
every
14 of 17
left and right.
passes for 243 yards. With the shocking victory, Notre Dame was no longer just a small Catholic boys' school from South Bend, Indiana. And the forward pass was no longer a footnote in offensive playbooks.
Wow, the forward pass did it all, folks. The XFL. It's going to let you throw the ball twice. I forgot about the XFL. When is that coming? It's extreme. We'll get to do wrestling moves on each other or something. I don't really know what, what that's all about. The forward pass, it changed the game as we know it, and some of all these rule changes and stuff got us to where we are today. On this day in our Lord, it's the week after the big game. All right, I'll check it out. Start watching the XFL. They also started another football league that lasted like a month, and that was the one that was supposed to go on during the spring, during the off season in the spring, the AFL or something like that. I think it didn't last for very long. They had a bunch of stuff. The AAFL, the ALF. Here we go. UnderstandingAmericanFootball.com. American football rules. Yeah, we love it. It rules. You guys smashing. And who do we think's going to win the big game today? That's what I should be asking. He bought it to steal their technology and try to sell it and then shut the league down. What? Football technology. Oh no. That's capitalism for you. Anyway, who do we think's going to win the big game today? The 49ers? All right. And both teams are equally... I don't really know who to root for, really, because, you know, of course, on the one hand, you got the Chiefs. A little bit of problematic associations there. Some Native American stuff and people doing... I was reading an article about how they still do the tomahawk chant and war drums and war paint and all this crap. It's crazy. It's going to be a draw. It'll be a 4 overtime. That would be insane. And then, of course, you got the 49ers. And when you think of those guys, you think of old guys and their big, long beards prospecting out in the desert and the dirt and the grime. But, of course, some of that gold rush stuff resulted in this, Native American land being stolen. So it's all bad. It all comes back to that we stole the football from the Native American team back in the day, Jim Thorpe. We stole their freaking mascots and their customs to make all of our teams, and we took all their sacred land and made them into football. Made them into football fields. And these things are huge. They're 100 yards long, 160 yards wide. The 10-foot long area in each end called the end zone. For anyone new to football, we're breaking it down. We're going to go through all the rules, everything you could ever want to know, just like we went through the whole entire history of football. Because we got to get yourself caught up on football. Time play is 60 minutes. So it's going to be a short game today. It'll only be an hour. We'll have all the commercials and stuff in between. A touchdown, score 6 points. The ball is thrown or carried into the opponent's end zone. And, of course, you got the extra point. You can kick a field goal. Kick the ball between the goalposts. And that's important. You're going to want to get the ball in between those damn goalposts. Or you could try for another touchdown and get some more points. 2-point conversion is what they call that. This will be a lifesaver. Someone who's never seen football and got invited to a big game party. Say, hey, check this out. I watched the cool stream before I came over, guys. Ever heard of this? You ever heard of this guy, Pop Warner? They used to carry around a sheep's bladder. Be like, what the hell are you talking about? Some of these rules are crazy. There's so much stuff in here. Of course, you got the famous coin toss before the game begins. The referee and team captains get together. It all started in 1869. Winners get to choose either to have his team start the game with the ball in their possession or picking which end of the field he wants for his team's territory. His or her, because ladies can play football too. I'm going to make people watch this before I start the game. That's what I'm saying. Throw the cool stream up on the big screen before the big game and get everybody watching, get them educated. So here, let's learn about the rules from this guy.
One of the most confusing things about football, especially when you're just starting to get into the sport, is where are all these guys standing and
What
why
the
are they
heck
there?
what are they doing out there?
What are the different positions that we have? And so that's what I want to take a look at in this video.
They're smashing into each other.
If you are afraid of geometry, you don't need to be, because we aren't going to get any more complicated than the X's and the O's. So
the X's and O's and the Jimmies and the Joes, what they call them.
The X's are the guys on defense, and so we'll take a look at each of them here.
X's and the O's.
The first thing to notice is that there's kind of a line here.
There's a line
separating the offense and the defense, and that is because the ball
is going that way.
Will be placed in the middle here.
So right there. It's a
the
tiny ball.
is in the middle, and it is separated by this line. The offense guys cannot go past this line, and nor can the defensive guys go over this line, where they would be considered offside. And so this line, the yellow line, is called the line of scrimmage.
Some tight ends in
so
that
the line
book,
of scrimmage separates the
positions.
offense
Heard about that
from the
in the
defense.
Karma Sutra.
That is where the ball is.
That's where the ball is. So the rules of American football
first,
explained.
let's take a look at the guys on offense.
Let's check these guys out. Can we name all the positions here?
And the offense will start with the
this is where it gets confusing.
Line. So that's these orange guys here. This
orange circles.
Offensive line. As you can see, there are 5 guys in the offensive line.
Orange, kind of like our president.
Man in the middle.
Man in the middle.
Is fittingly, he is called the center. And the center is going to be the man
that's
who
the guy in the
snaps
center.
the ball back.
QB's white.
The quarterback.
QB looks gray.
Quarterback. So we'll get back to him in a second. The quarterback
back to him
is
in
the
a
guy
second.
there. The gray guy standing behind the center. Either side of the center, we have our other offensive line. And so on the left side, we're going to have our left guard.
Left guy is over there.
Who stands right beside the center.
The left side.
To his left, and then we're going to have the left tackle.
Tackle. That's where it gets kind of confusing.
Different tackle than what we'll be talking about soon as far as tackling
it's a different
player.
tackle.
I
don't know why they call it I don't know why they call those guys the tackle. It took me a long time to figure out the difference between.
We have our right guard, and then on the other side we have our right tackle.
Do you think the tackle guys would be in the middle because they do a lot of tackling, and the guys on the outside would be the guard, because when they do the passing play, and this is some advanced football knowledge here that I got going on. When they start passing the ball, these guys will start protecting the quarterback. So you think this guy would be guarding him if he's on the outside. It's weird. But when they run the ball, don't you know these big guys get out in the field and they start steamrolling the other defensive guys. It's pretty fun to watch.
we said, right behind the offensive line.
Check that out when you're watching football.
The center's
the
gonna
big
snap
game
the ball
today.
back to the quarterback, and
He's
so
going to snap the ball.
quarterback has.
I'm getting ahead of myself
decision.
here.
He can either pass the ball or he can hand off the ball. So what he would do for a handoff, he would turn to one of these guys behind him. So
turn to this guy
back here. It's two kind of.
And normally they sort of have figured out what they're going to do before they start playing. Before they.
They're backwards because you think the fullback.
Before they snap the ball, sometimes they've already figured out what they're going to do first. Okay. It's the fullback. This is what you call is a running back. This is what you call. I'm throwing in some of my own knowledge here because I know about this stuff. This is what you call the old I formation, and it's when you get your fullback,
usually
your halfback,
either guy,
snap
and
chat the ball.
Typically, though, it will be to the halfback. He will run.
And this is the I formation. So there's lots of different formations. You got this one. You got one where there's no fullback back there. You got one where the quarterback's standing way back here, and the shotgun. And sometimes you got the pistol formation. So they got all these formations named after different guns and stuff. So it's kind of cool. More of a Wii formation. You got your flying wing and your left wing and all. So all kinds of crazy formations. We should get into one of these football playbooks and see. Some of this stuff is crazy to see. And maybe we've got one here on our website. Let's see if we've got a. Those are kind of fun to look at. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. Here it is. This is reversed from the video. There's the defense. So here's your center, guard, tackle, your tight end, receivers. This is a nice little drawing here. And there's the defense. And they're standing pretty much the defense just kind of stands around and they're like, oh no, we've got to stop these guys. No, that's not true. They've got all kinds of plays. And all kinds of strategery and stuff. It's crazy when you get into some of this strategy of football. It'll make your head spin trying to figure out what they're going to do, what the other team's going to do, what are we going to do. Here we go, football strategy. An overall American football strategy, an overview. The basics of American football strategy. Give you some skin in the game. That's a good pun right there. I like that. It's good for the old ego. The coach has the team do something other than what you would have done, and it doesn't work. You get to feel smug and superior. Not a bad feeling. Better yet, if he does what you're thinking he should do and it works, you get to feel smug and superior. Not bad, huh? Let's get into it. Getting the hang of football strategy is a lot easier than you think. It's really all about understanding the grid which American football is played, as well as the grid in which it's played. There's a tiny little image to look at. We noted the American football basics. We got the basics of that, all the players. Next thing you noted about a 100-yard football game is that it is marked off with boldly numbered lines called yard lines. Duh! Starting at the goal line, numbered 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Which brings us to the middle of the field. At which point the numbers start going down again. What? They go backwards from 50 to 40 and to 30. Got that? Okay. It's the key to understanding the grid in which the game is played. That is a time grid. Whoa. American football takes place within a time grid of 4 15-minute quarters. A longer break after the second quarter, as your math teacher taught you, is known as the half. And that's when Lady Gaga gets out with Left Shark and they do a dance. Follow the numbers. You gotta follow the numbers. The clock is always ticking, depending on what's happened to some of these plays. And now he's talking about Ginger Rogers. Defense doesn't have strategy. Not that the defense doesn't have strategies of its own. They're more like Ginger Rogers. If you've ever watched Fred Astaire dance together in one of those black and white movies, you may have heard it said that Ginger did everything Fred did, only backwards and in high heels. That's about sizes up from the defense. They got to figure out what the offense's strategy is, then dance their dance right along with them, so the offense can't do any solos to the goal line. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good little summation, I guess. Defense does not wear high heels, at least not while they're on the football field. Well, this guy's This guy's a jokester over here. Let's get back to the grids. What do they have to do with understanding American football strategy? Everything. Everything. Here's the deal. Where you are on the grid and when you're where you are will largely dictate what you will do. So, the big plan with the big game is to keep the opposition out of your half of the field, get your team inside their half. Wherein lies the goal line? You have to get the football across to score. Without knowing anything about football, it's still pretty obvious that you can get an object, be it a football or a beanbag, from one point to another a whole lot faster if you throw it. Alright, let's go see some classic football plays. Okay? So we got no football plays. Let's see. Let's see if we can Google some. Let me just, I want to check out a football play. They're kind of fun. And we'll let this...
If the quarterback does decide to pass,
I'm going to look up a football play just to show you kind of what
so
those
the two guys way out on the end.
Football playbook.
Or the wide receivers.
Play ball.
So this
that's what they do
over here.
They're going to sing the national anthem.
The wide receiver on this
and they're going to
side.
say, "Let's play ball."
Man on
Let's
the left.
see.
There's
Football
another wide
playbooks.
receiver on the left side.
Footballxnos.com.
And then our final guy standing kind of probably.
Here we go.
In actuality, he's
looking up some playbooks
to the
pass the ball
line.
Bill Walsh. Bill Walsh.
This guy is called the tight end. And so sometimes he will run and receive. Other times he's kind of a sixth offensive lineman blocking.
Hold on, I'm trying to get this playbook pulled up.
These are all of the positions on offense. Now, I don't know if I said it or not, but there are 11 guys, both on offense and defense. And
all right,
it's really
just do a Google image search. We don't need to look at a whole
in
football
this
playbook. If you've ever played Madden,
format. Typically this is the ones you'll see, but it's not required.
If you ever played Madden football,
sometimes
you've seen
we'll
some of
have
these
the
plays before.
Wide receiver, he'll be out further.
So we got
maybe
this.
Instead of a tight end, we'll
pull
have
up
a
this
third
JPEG
wide receiver, and he'll line out.
Here we go. Here we go. This is what a football play looks like. If you've ever played Madden, the video game, it's a sassy article. If you ever played the game Madden football, I know some of you got some gamers out here, and this is the youth football playbook. It says I left tight 47 sweep, and in the play there it tells you all you need to know about what's going to happen on this play. So you're going to give your playbooks to all the guys out there and say, study this and figure out what you're supposed to do. So here you go. You got the quarterback's number 1. He's always number 1, and he's going to give the ball to number 3, which is he's going to give the ball to number 4. He's going to as a sweep. He's going to toss the ball or something. I don't know. Anyway, so this is a play of what happens when they snap the ball. All these guys do this stuff. They go out here. This guy's going to do some blocking. All these guys are going to block. And then, number 4, give him the go-ahead. Give him the rock. And get this guy to run for a damn touchdown. Run to the other side of the field. It's pretty insane. I think I have a video on some... that's kind of fun. A fun video. Here we go. The game plan. This is coaching for youth football. This is going to be interesting. Deliver a blow with shoulder.
Part of this is we're going to deliver a blow with the shoulder on the drive block. We're going to do that. We're going to use the hand shield. The other part of it with the hand shield is that
so there's all kinds of stuff that you need to know.
Correctly, but the person holding the bag has to do it. Oftentimes, you go to practice.
Stuff you have to practice.
They're holding the bag out
certain ways you have to do stuff when you play football. You can't just go out there and do whatever the hell you want. All right, you're gonna do it right, or else you're gonna really screw up.
The kids on how to hold the pad.
Tell these kids how to hold the pad.
I'm just going to show you this right now with this young man here. He's going to take the pad right now. If I'm going to deliver a right shoulder block or have someone deliver a right shoulder block to this, he's going to put that bag on his right hip. He's going to pull it in
offensive
tight,
lineman.
And he's going to give resistance. That's his job.
It's kind of like
that pad right
it's kind of what I look like at that age. Except I didn't have
the
glasses.
Guy can deliver a blow. Two things. One is
I sure as hell wasn't playing football.
We want to get into on the pad.
Good Lord, I would have been destroyed.
And the second thing is it gives us resistance.
Yell at him.
So we do even get some strength.
I'll do whatever you want.
All right. with the two-man situation partnered up, what we do is we have the man holding the
in
bag
here, Blake.
correctly.
Hold
His
the bag.
right foot is on the line. This young man is a
Marcus
right
is gonna
shoulder
smash into
block. He's gonna have his right foot on the line.
Get in there.
So they're going to
Get
go
your
step
foot
right
over there.
to it. So he's going to start in a 2-point position. His head is going to be up, right? His back is arched, right? His shoulders are back. He's going to get this one. Now what he's
Straighten
going
it
to
up
do is
there.
he's going to move a little closer. He's too far away. He takes right there.
Get in
His
there.
left foot
Get
is
in
going to
there,
be ahead of
Steve.
his right foot here because he's stepping with that foot. His head is up. Now, what he's going to do is he's going to step into
Get
that
in there.
bag. As he
Kill him.
steps into that bag, he's delivering a blow.
Boom.
Bend your knees. Okay, your head up. Get squared.
Head
Don't
up.
get twisted. Okay, get your shoulder and wing up.
Don't get it twisted, you little idiot.
Okay, so his feet now are, again, the base we maintain.
This is inappropriate.
We want to get the wing out. We want to cover that up.
Get the wing out.
Right? We want to get a little bit more lean.
Get
okay,
the
what
wing
we're doing
out,
now
so
is
what you-
trying to get that forward weight.
Get the
Trying to
wing
get
out
that
is what
wing
you
straight
guys are going to
across.
be doing watching
Again,
the
we're
big
trying to
game.
keep that Z or power
Chicken
position in
wing.
the hips and the,
What kind of
and the
wings
legs.
are we eating here today?
The head
Lemon
is up,
pepper?
He's locked
Buffalo?
up underneath the guy, and the guy's giving him resistance.
Barbecue?
So right now, his
Talking
weight
about
is
dry
underneath the
rub? Or
man,
got any
and we're ready
sauces
to
going
move it.
on? Blue cheese?
Now the part of this we got to look from this position is we want to try to keep the
Get
feet
the ass up.
wide. Okay, a good decent base. Want to get the head up.
Get the head up.
Get that arm here right by the side.
Ready
got
to
a good,
punch.
pretty good wing here.
Pretty
we
good
got
wing.
him locked right in to this
locked
position.
in.
We got him pinched right in there. The
Get
head
your
is
fist
up.
out. Get ready to
We're
throw
in
a
pretty good
punch right in
position
the
now
face.
to move this man.
Move
okay?
this man.
Now, what he's going to do
You little
is
wimp.
I'm going to say hut, 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 and he's going to just take some sharp,
Barbecue wings.
short
All right.
chop
Old
steps.
Bay.
He's going to push this guy a little bit. I'm
Yeah,
like a man.
sounds
Hut,
delicious.
hut, hut, stop. Okay, now when we finish again, we should be flat.
Punish his ass.
Be able to touch the grass.
Touch the grass.
Right? If we make
Oh, okay.
Okay,
There's
we'll now
ball
talk
handling.
about ball handling and keeping 3 points of pressure so we can
This is for
secure the
little
football
kids.
at all times
Yeah.
when we're running with a
That's funny.
football. Mike will demonstrate what we mean by 3 points of pressure. And the first thing we'll talk about is when we receive the handoff of the football. We always want to have 3 points of pressure. The 3
3
points
points of
are
pressure.
both tips of the football as well as the
You
body
wanna-
of the
You want to
football.
apply some pressure
Protect the
points
tip.
to your
Mike's gonna
opponent.
take his middle
When you do a big
and
tackle on
pointer
him, you
finger,
grab him by the
lift
clavicle
up
and
with the tip of the football.
knock him out.
He's going to cover
An
both
expert.
tips that way. He's going to protect the body of the football with his
Nasty.
forearm and pushing it into his bread basket.
Get in their bread
That's
basket
when he
there.
initially takes the handoff. When he breaks in the open, he wants to get the ball in the outside arm or the arm closest to the sideline. When he does that, he still wants to maintain 3 points of pressure on the football.
3
And the
points
way
of
that he'll
pressure.
do that is he'll protect the front tip of the football with his middle finger and his pointer
This is for
finger.
youth football.
He'll secure the body
The
of the
same
football
principles apply,
with his
though.
forearm and his rib
You're going to
cage.
want to hold
He'll
on to
secure
that
the
ball
back
for
tip of the football with
for
his
dear
bicep
life.
and his rib cage, squeezing the
These
football.
kids are playing in the
final
game
thing
today.
we do when the guy has the ball in his outside arm is we tell him to raise the front tip of the football. So if someone was to slap at the tip of the football, the
Just
ball would
slap
come
it.
back down and be even, and he'd still be in pretty good shape to not fumble the football. Okay, now we're going to work on a drill that we call the weave drill, and this focuses on switching the football to the outside arm.
Switch it
when
up.
Players change direction.
All right, so when you're out there playing the game of football and you're running around with the ball and stuff, these guys are going to come after you and smack the ball, and they're going to try to rip it out of your hands. So you got to watch out for that. That's tough. All right, that takes some skill. These guys are going to try to rip it left and right. Let's check out this one real quick. This is from Coach's Choice. They got a ton of these videos. We're going to look at this one real quick, and then we're going to get into we're going to watch a little bit of football. Some different plays, some different classic plays. And then we're going to maybe watch a video or two of some coaches screaming at us. It'll be kind of fun. And then you can go on and watch the big game. All right, here we go. What's this one? It's Carl Mock. Pass protection schemes. Nah. Wow. Wow.
Well, my name is Carl Mock. I've been in the National Football League the last 33 years.
There he is.
13 as a player.
Buffalo Bills.
20 as a coach. The last 2 years I
Carl.
was in pro
It's the
football. We
Buffalo
led
Bills.
the league in pass protection. We had 20 sacks in 2002.
20 sacks. That's when you.
And in 2003,
That's when you tackle
we gave up 11 sacks.
the.
So today we're going to be talking about pass
That's when you tackle
protection.
the quarterback.
And we're going to be talking about play action pass, And we're going to call that act and smoke. Smoke and act are 7-man protections with a tight end in.
Smoke.
We're going to be talking about turn, which is a slide protection, a nickel protection, where the line slides one way and the back chops the defensive end away from the slide. That's a nickel protection. We're going to be talking about 28 and 29, which is a 7-man nickel protection.
All right.
Where we can even slide the protection if 4 come weak. We can make a call to have the center go weak side, and him along with the back will pick up the 2.
Staring directly into the sun.
Weak side. Otherwise, his first read is to the strong side to pick up 4 strong.
So when you're watching the big game today, you think that these big fat guys that are down there doing blocking and stuff, they're not just running around, running wild, and just, hey, we got to protect this guy, everybody. Make sure the other guy didn't get to our guy. And they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff out there. They're calling out, and they're sliding the protection, and the center is screaming and telling, get out of here. Get out of there. This guy's coming after him. So we need to change up how we're protecting our main man, the quarterback. That's what the big guys are doing down in the trenches. It's kind of interesting. And there's all kinds of terms and terminology and stuff that's 52 is the mic. Let's see. 52 is the mic. There's the mic. I couldn't think of a joke for that. It's a famous mic. 23 is the mic. All right, there we go.
We're also
23 is the mic.
K4 and 5 protection, which is a slide protection, and the fullback bluffs the defensive end or outside backer away from the slide and goes in the flat. And the halfback chops the first thing off the tackle's slide down inside. So it's 6-man slide protection, good against third and short yardage, good in the red zone, and good in 4 minutes to run the clock out.
Red zone.
At the end of a ball game.
Red zone. This stuff is crazy. And you'll hear some of these guys on TV talking about some of the strategy and stuff. What the defense is doing, the offense is doing. It's pretty wild. It started way back in 1869 when they would smash together and they would have a big cloud of dust and no one knew what the hell they were doing. Now, fast forward 100 years later, and you got these guys talking about how they're sliding and they've got all these numbers and schemes, and if you tilt your foot the wrong way, some guy's going to call you out on it, and they're going to be like, this guy's doing this, and they're going to know what's happening. Does that make sense? Main strategy is to score more than the other team. That's true. It's insanely and weirdly complicated. And you've got all these guys watching film, figuring out what the other team's doing. They're telling everybody, hey, he's doing this. So that's my summation. If you want to get into football stuff, it is crazy trying to figure it all out. And actually, some of those video games will help you figure it out too. So keep playing your games. In the meantime, we're going to watch a couple of trick plays and some bonehead plays too, and some cool plays. And then we're going to watch a few videos of some guys screaming at us. So here we go. This is a famous play, and this is college football. So apologize for people that hate college football. Here we go, 1984.
Right now, they have that old familiar
this is a famous trick play.
They are 3rd down and 5. I doubt that you'll see them go for a field goal at this time.
This is Nebraska. These guys are tricky.
We've seen them throw the ball in
There's a bunch of tricksters back then.
They were not successful.
Back in the 80s, telling my mom video games are good. Here we go. They're about to do a crazy trick play against Miami. Now, what? What the hell? What the hell happened? Maybe they'll do this today on the big game. Stinkoler. He won the Lombardi Trophy. What happened? What? Whoa, look at that. That's... You gotta fumble it.
So what he did is he got it from the center
and left
it on the ground.
It's a fumble rooski. That's what they call that. He drops the ball. This guy, the ball has dropped the ball. And the other guy, he was a lineman. That's crazy. Steinkühler. Don't do this in the big game. Play is illegal. What? Did they outlaw? Okay, I don't want to watch anymore. So we're gonna watch some famous trick plays, and I'll have to stitch this one together. That's cool. It's more work for me. More work for me. Have to do more stuff. Damn it, it stinks. And let get back. Let's get this back. Let's check out the youth playbook. 151 left dive. Oh Lord. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that. Some crazy weird stuff happened. Let's see, this was kind of fun. Seen this? Yeah, we're back, baby. This is the account that shares all the Mike Francesa stuff. We're just gonna skip the trick plays. Trick plays are cool, they're funny, they're weird, and they're crazy. But now we're gonna get to some weird, bad football because it's kind of fun. So this one is the the Washington football team hosting the Jets. The worst game they've ever played. Okay, we're back. We're just gonna watch some bad plays, and we're gonna get some coaches screaming at us. We're gonna skip over the trick plays, and I don't even really have anything for that. But this is the worst game ever played. This is from the account back after this that shares all the Mike Francesa stuff. So the worst game that
Johnny Johnson back in the lineup. 32 carries, 155 yards. Help set up this.
The worst game that's ever been played.
Field goal. You know, if we're showing you field goals, wasn't a whole lot of scoring. That would be the last time we would see him today. Roger Duffy, the snap.
Bounce off his freaking head.
Ready? They blow that. Washington,
blowed it.
Real good either. Rich Gannon.
My sound alert for that.
The missed connection on the shovel pass with Reggie Brooks. A sign of how the day went for Washington. Arguably one of the worst performances by a team that won
worst
a game in a
of
long
all time.
The Jet offense,
The
plenty of
worst
yards,
game
not
of
a whole
all
lot to
time.
show for it. Their special teams horrendous. New York has now
Special
failed to
teams
score a touchdown.
horrendous.
14 quarters, but they'll take it. They remain in playoff contention. The Redskins just remain. Johnny Johnson.
Johnny Johnson.
Pass with Reggie Brooks. Roger Duffy, the snap.
Right, here we go.
A whole lot of scoring. That would be the last time we would see him today. Roger Duffy, the snap.
Bounced off his head.
The holder not ready. They blow.
I didn't know what the hell they were doing on that day. It was the worst game ever. 3-0. Imagine watching that game. Holy moly. It's terrible. Okay, here we do. We got one more trick play. Excuse me. We got one more trick play. Good Lord. We got one more trick play. I don't know what happened to the stream. I'm going to have to stitch this together. It's even more work for me to have to do. I was just going to end the show. Wow, we got 15 minutes left. But I was rolling along. I had a lot of fun, so we're back. Okay, here we go. The Statue of Liberty play. This is 2007. Boise State. Again, this is college football, so this is not NFL. None of these teams are playing today. Check this out. This is pretty cool. They won the freaking game 2007. What? They won the Tostitos Pizza Roll Bowl. Holy moly. There's that famous coaches. Oh my God, that was crazy. Back in 2007. And they were full of the trickery back then. That team there, the Broncos. Oh, this one's kind of cool. They won the Tostitos game. This is an interesting play here. This is the guy who's laying down in the end zone. Holy crap! What happened there? There he is. He was laying in the freaking end zone. And then he threw the ball to him, and he almost got it knocked away. So it's kind of a dangerous thing to do. Play dead. He was laying down in the end zone. This is a thing that everyone does. Okay, we'll do one more, and then we're going to get to some more bonehead plays.
Couple of wrinkles here you're seeing by Arkansas State. Very
This is
Gus
Malzahn.
Auburn football. Very similar. There are some. You can see Gus
He's at Auburn.
fingerprints on this offense. The first one, just that little flip pass underneath. They like to get all their
And this is
weapons outside in space.
this is where the guy hides behind the. Here he is.
This is the play that is called hide the midget.
Okay, we can't say that anymore. We can't say that anymore. But it's a play where someone hides behind. Gus Malzahn, this guy is up to some tricks. This is where someone hides behind the thing. There he is, number 4. Number 4. You can't say that anymore. So it's hiding. You're hiding. Okay. What were we doing again? We're gonna look at some bonehead plays. Here's another one. This is another trick play. A fake field. This is from 1989. They don't do this much anymore because you'll get steamrolled if you try this crap. Wow! There's a fake field goal for a touchdown. 1989. Holy crap. You get faked out sometimes. You think they're doing one thing and they do another thing. Holy moly. You can't get away with that anymore. Especially not in the big game. Okay. Especially not. You don't want to be doing that kind of stuff on the stage. The big stage and the big screen. You get embarrassed. And they won. I don't think this was the big game, but this was a game that they won, so that's cool. Faking it out. Here he is. And he almost got ran over too, but luckily everything was in the right spot. Mike Pagel. The Browns are still in it, and they didn't even win. Did they win? Ow. I guess they did win. And he almost got smashed by number 29. Waiters. Or maybe they won. They won in overtime. Fake field goal touchdown in overtime. A gutty call. Okay, so they still had... So they didn't win the game, but they did get a touchdown. The play started years of success. But here's a boneheaded play.
Now these are the Buccaneers. Watch this. 4th and 9.
Watch this crap.
Trent Dilfer. It's a fumble.
Trent Dilfer.
It's a stumble. It's a fumble.
It's a bumble. He's bumbling all over the place. It's a flip and
it's a tip. Oh my goodness! The entire
oh no!
Boiled into that one play.
It's a flip, a tip, and he screwed it up. So that's a mistake. That's a big no-no. We're gonna watch some cool plays, and then we're gonna watch some coaches screaming at us. Then I'm gonna go back in the lab and edit this one together to make one long episode. So you'll never know that the stream went down. Okay, here we go. This guy's cool. Walter Payton, 1977. Chris Berman sucks. Walter Payton, amazing run against the Chiefs. This guy's good. This is back.
With a long count. They give to Payton on a sweep to the right side. He
there he goes.
Back inside. By one man, still on his
there's the Chiefs. These guys are getting embarrassed. Can't catch him. Famous running back, Walter Payton. He embarrassed those damn Kansas City Chiefs. Here's another one. This guy's cool. Warren Moon. He was a quarterback. Check this out. Check this out. Wow! Wow! That's crazy. He almost got his head taken off. And he just ducked right under him. Said, not today. Not today. Watch number 55. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's great.
Look at this. Here
Watch
comes
this.
Moon.
There he goes. He went right under and then he threw it.
Now the question is, if his knee is down,
He made it look easy. He went down, he got under it, and then he threw it, and the other guy caught it. It's insane. This one's kind of cool. Amazing sitting down throw. I was trying to get some old school football clips in here.
With the invisible one draped all over him.
The invisible
from the seat
one.
of his pants, Lisk found young Steve Zabel in the
Boom.
end zone. But it was too little and it was too late.
What? 1971. This is the Eagles. Nim Eagles. This guy sat down and threw a pass. Can you do that? You probably can't do that anymore. This is kind of cool. He fell down and threw it anyway.
Lisk found young Steve Zabel in the end zone. But it
Threw
was
it.
too little and it
And
was
the
too
other
late.
guy caught it. Oh. Bum, 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 ba, da, bum. Yay. Okay, and here's a famous
Last
one.
chance for the Steelers.
This is crazy.
Bradshaw trying to get away.
Terry Bradshaw.
And his pass is broken up by Tatum. Tipped off. Franco Harris has it. And he's over.
What the hell?
Grabbed the ball on a deflection. 5 seconds to go. He grabbed it with
What the hell happened there?
Let's watch this again.
All right, what happened? This is a fluke if you've ever seen one. They throw the ball, Terry Bradshaw. He's an old guy
Watch
now.
this, ricochet.
And it bounces off the other guy. Boom.
Ricochet out there. Off
Ricochet.
of Tatum,
Ball.
into the man of the
And then a
year,
hand
Franco
lands into
Harris.
this guy's hand. He's right in the right spot at the right time. And he had the ball, and he ran. He made a big touchdown.
When you talk about Christmas
Crazy.
miracles, here's
Christmas
a miracle,
miracle.
of all miracles.
It was a Christmas miracle.
Watch this one now.
There
Bradshaw
he is.
lucky to even get rid of the ball.
There, Terry Bradshaw. I throw
He
the
shoots
ball.
it out.
He throw ball.
Jack
Then it
Tatum
bounces off, and then
deflects
that.
right into the hands of Harris.
Wow!
And he sets off, and the big 230-pound
Holy
rookie slipped
crap.
away from Warren and scored. It's called beautiful.
That was crazy. The ball bounced, and he caught it right at the right time. It's called the Immaculate Reception. Insane. Receiver had to be concussed. Yeah, there's a lot of that back then. There's a lot of it today, and that's one of the problems that with the NFL is, among other things. You know, they got concussions. They're a bunch of racist guys. Anyway, don't think about any of that stuff. Just watch the big game, eat your nachos, have a lot of fun. And if something goes wrong, you know one of these coaches are going to be back there in their press conference screaming their heads off. This is one. This is from our friend Robert Denby. Sent this one over.
They're going to do that.
Immaculate Reception.
They're going to be a pro. That's part of the deal.
This guy is not Herm
Everyone
Edwards.
here is going to be that.
He's going to scream at us.
Now, if they don't do that, then that's coaches, players, management, anybody. They don't do that,
This famous speech.
then they need to go somewhere else.
Get the hell. Oh, this is a different one.
Just make sure you're not. Because I can bristle up too now. When you ask a question like that, and I'm trying to give you a
kick your
logical
ass.
answer, that's unthinkable.
Kick your ass.
That you have an opportunity in your lifetime to be a professional, that you think about quitting.
What?
So you don't quit it, and you don't quit in sports.
And you don't quit also when you're doing a stream. And when you're doing a stream, it's the fourth quarter, the time's running out, and the stream crashes, and your internet screws up for some reason, and you don't know how to get back, you don't quit. You don't just stop doing your stream, damn it. You get back up there, you fire that thing up, you fire up your stupid program that screwed up on you, and you go, and you keep streaming.
Hi.
Okay?
You don't get to quit.
You don't quit when you're doing a stream.
It's not an option. See?
That's right.
Someone told me that a long time ago. That ain't even an option.
No. You gotta keep
The
streaming.
person told me that, he ain't here anymore. He died.
He's dead.
This is what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is.
Great.
You play to win the game.
What?
Hello? You play
Hello?
to win the game. You don't play to just play it.
You don't play this player. You don't
That's the
shoot.
great thing about sports. You play to win.
Great.
And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go play to win.
You play to win the game.
When you start telling me it doesn't matter, then retire. Get out. Because it matters.
Get the hell out.
This whole conversation bothers me. Big time. It really does.
Pissed off.
Because the one thing I know, I don't quit.
That's right. Me neither.
That will not happen.
Never.
That will not
I'm always going to stream. I'm never going to stop.
I sit here and answer questions for 45 minutes every day.
Ooh, man. These guys get pissed off when you get these reporters in here, the fake news, asking all these dumb questions. Hello? I'm playing to win the game. I'm never going to quit streaming, even if my stream dies, even if no one's watching. I'm always going to be there because that's how you win the game of streams.
And that was a disgraceful performance, in my opinion. We threw that game. We gave it away by doing that. We gave them the friggin' game.
Gave them the friggin' game.
In my opinion, that sucked. What's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs.
Stream.
You kidding me?
Playoffs? To win the game.
I just hope we can win a game.
Oh, crap. You hope you can win a game. This one's got a lot of swearing in it. Let me get my beeps ready. Can't have that. It's the big game. The children are watching.
And Merriweather just made a great play. Faked the guy on the outside, stepped inside him, and made the bunt. It was a hell of a game. I mean, shit. For $23, if you can get more excitement than that, hell, you're in the wrong operation. It was a hell of a game. And let me say something. As long as I'm in this fucking job, Snelker will be the offensive coach. I mean, no question fucking about that. No fucking question about that. I don't like to name names after a fucking game, but we can't be responsible for the blocking. We can't be responsible for the fucking guys jumping offside. We can't be responsible for we get down there and it was a dumb play by Anderson. I love Anderson.
I love him.
But it was a dumb fucking play when his foot was shoe was coming off up the line.
His shoe came off.
Take time out. We had a fucking trap play called. And his fucking shoe comes off.
I hate when that happens. My shoe came off. The other team untied his shoe. It came off. This guy's... He might be drunk. Let's see what else. Some more swears.
That ain't Bob Snelker's fault. We have another fucking trap play, and if Vinny picks up his fucking feet, he walks in. We got the fucking pass to AC out there in the flat. The ball's thrown in low. That isn't Snelker's fault. We got right down there. We got the second down, and I don't know what the hell. 2 yards ago, I don't know what, 15, 40, whatever the hell it was, and Irwin jumps offside.
He's whining. Stop whining. Come on. He's ramping up. Is he going to go off here? We keep watching.
These are the things that have been hurting us all along. The little things. We're working at them to stop them. We moved the ball good today. We went down there and we didn't get the ball in the end zone.
Frick. Is he going to smash something?
I think we did, yeah.
Is he going to smash something?
Anything else?
Well, just before you do go.
Oh, one more question. I really want to ask this.
We'll stir one up. We'll stir one up here before we're done. No, he did a sensational fucking job. Kicked seven goddamn field goals. You can win a game many ways. DJ, I was happy when they kicked the goddamn ball to him. Yeah, last week on the Giants, Christ, he ran 65 yards. This time he fumbles the ball. What the hell can you do?
What the hell?
Fuck, you can't. All you do is you prepare as thoroughly as you can. The guys play their asses off.
Game. The big game.
Any other questions? Sure, to help us. Sure, I talked to John afterwards. I thought it was a tough one for him to lose.
All right. Let's go to another coach screaming. This one's kind of short. And then we've got one that's pretty funny. And then It stinks that we had to end with the stream cutting out.
4 picks against Grossman and 2 fumbles. What do you see about the Bears?
But we played to win the game.
That way?
No, we just the Bears are what we thought they were. They're what we thought they were. We played them in preseason. Who the hell takes a third game in the preseason like it's bull? We played them in the third game. Everybody played 3 quarters. The Bears are who we thought they were. That's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Kick their ass. The Bears, I thought this guy's giving him a big clap. Okay, we got a real classic coming up. A real weirdo. One last thing before we end the show, and we'll get this one up in the archives. I thought they weren't. One last one. This guy's a weirdo. This is, again, we're going back to some college football, but football is football no matter what. Whether it's the big game, whether it's little kids playing little kid football, or it's college guys getting drunk the night before and going and playing football. It's all football. So this is college football. This is a weirdo guy named John L. Smith. And he had a particularly bad game. I don't even remember. I don't even want to remember. And I won't say why. You can figure it out yourself. Pretty bad game. Stretch of losing games. A bad season. And he got up to give a press conference and did this. And it's a classic moment in history.
You guys act like it's... Pick it up a little bit. Okay? Get your chin up. Smile!
Smile.
Smile!
You think that's it? This is my favorite part here. Smile.
Okay? Dang, you guys...
Dang.
All right? No, I'm not talking! Woo!
That's my favorite part. This is like some... it's like something Joe Biden would do. Smile. We got in World War III. Smile. I'm not talking. It's crazy. He's nuts.
All right? If not, I'm not talking.
He's like the Joker. Smile. The Joker makeup on it. And then he had another bad game. This was his interview before he left the field on this game. And this, we'll never forget this one. I remember I watched this live. Someone filming their TV. This is pretty funny. John L. Smith.
John, you knew without Tyler Wilson that you have trouble running the ball and moving the ball, so how do you adjust in that second half?
We keep trying to run it, we keep battling, we keep doing what we've been doing, we try to block it better and play the game better than we played.
To win the game.
Tough week, though, how do you make sure they keep their heads up?
Well, you slap them and say, come on, baby, keep your head up.
You slap him on the butt. Come on, baby, get your head up. This is, he's getting just demolished by Alabama on that day. A nasty, rainy day. Got destroyed. You saw the score there, 21-0. So what are you gonna do? Slap him on the butt. Come on, baby. And here's the next one. Now, one of his famous catchphrases, and I thought this was something that he said, but actually it was a player in an interview. Talked about one of his famous catchphrases, and I'm going to see if I can skip, and I don't remember exactly where it is, and we'll hope that we can find it. He's talking about John L. Smith. Talking about the game.
From number 7, and you know it's something that
here we
means right there at our place.
Here we go.
His one phrase that sticks out is "get your piss hot." You know, it's something that means, you know, get up, get ready, get up and get on your feet.
Get up, get out there.
And get your blood pumping. That's something that he uses a lot, get your piss hot. You know, get up, get phrase that sticks out is get your piss hot. You know, it's something that
that was one of his famous one of his famous phrases to get the players pumped up. Get your piss hot. Come on, everybody. Slap him on the rear. Get your piss hot. Come on. I'm not talking. That's kind of. I would love to have a whole documentary about those tumultuous years with some of the stuff that went down there. Lord, is insane. So we want to figure out who's going to win the game, and how we do that. Well, there's a really cool. Some of you gamers out there. Some chili peppers to get my piss hot. Some of you gamers out there, you might be familiar with this game, an old Nintendo game, Tecmo Super Bowl. Where's John L. now? I don't know. Not sure if he's coaching anymore. I think he was went back to Utah or something. So anyway, this is our favorite game, Tecmo Super Bowl. There's a whole group of people that have gotten on there and updated all the rosters, and they're still playing this game. It's pretty cool. I played it before. Tecmo Super Bowl 54. This is it. This is the 49ers versus the Chiefs. And we're going to figure out who wins the game with Tecmo Super Bowl. Is going to tell us who wins. And these are all the updated players. This game is a lot of fun. Oh, yeah. This is a video of someone playing it. I have played it before. Back before the cool stream, I used to play Tecmo Super Bowl on here. This is what's going to happen. Is this going to happen? You're going to run your head. It's not totally. Oh, you got a fumble. No. Let's see. Let's get down to the end. Let's see who wins the game. Play to win the game. Let's see who wins the game. This is the last play of the game. It's going to be a big field goal. And, oh, it's a touchback. This is the last play of the game. 9 seconds left. This is what's going to happen here. It's going to be Kansas City is going to win 17-13. All right. Kansas City is going to win 17-13. According to, they're going to be super champion. They're going to win the big game. Kansas City Chiefs. Congrats to the Kansas City Chiefs for winning the big game, 17-13. And they ran it down by 4. Congrats, and they're going to win the big freaking game. All right. Well, it's been a lot of fun. Thanks, everybody, for watching the show. It kind of stinks that the stream went down, but we were able to come back to get a victory, to get the big W. So now we have to leave for real. And let's see, we're going to do a raid. So we've never done this before. And remember how to do this? I'm going to prepare / is that how you do it? /raid. We're going to raid. WWW. We got the W. We're going to raid this guy. Make sure I spell it right. We're going to do a big raid, and in case you're not watching the big game, you can go check out some other streams from some of our friends. Thanks for watching the show. We'll have the show up on YouTube. You can check it out, like and subscribe on YouTube. Check that out. Also, if you have any topic suggestions, I'm throwing up a lot of links here. I forgot that I had this. If you got any topic suggestions, we've got a form, and that's not the right one. We've got a form you can fill out. Submit your topics for the cool stream. A Google form that Jeremy put together. If you got any ideas for any topics, check it out. Check out the YouTube, and check out some other gamer streamers on Twitch, on the Twitch platform. It's a lot of fun. So we're going to do a raid, and we're going to do our famous credit sequence. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching
the cool stream.
Bye-bye. B-Wolf. Thanks, B-Wolf. Have a good one.
B-Wolf. Call me the son of a biscuit-eating bulldog.
I call myself a Philadelphia.
Thanks, B-Wolf. Have a good one.
Hey, you guys, all right? If not, I'm not talking. Dang, you guys, all right? If not, I'm not talking.